how to do it. Let me show you how to do it.
Hi guys, so on my Lexus ES350 I just got done with the installation of the leather seat covers. So I replaced my old leather seat covers with these new ones. In this video I'm going to show you in detail on how I replaced it. Alright, so the very first one we're going to do is, this is the headrest for the backside. To remove the old one, what you need to do is, see they have these hooks, and all I did was kind of pushed in, it was like this. So I had to like push in and pop this out. Same thing over here and same thing over here. So there are three of them, and you can easily pop it out like this. So it could be a little bit tough, but you can take a prying tool like a screwdriver and then lift this up and it'll come off just like that. So the old one might start to rip off because it's just old. All right, this is a new one, and you can see exact same stuff. So that's the good thing that they did. It's just a replica of this one. So you just have to keep in mind how this thing was. So when you're putting this on, you kind of put it in the same orientation. So you can see the three tabs are at the bottom. So I'm going to keep this like this. And then I'm going to remove this whole thing. Right from here, you just have to squeeze it out. Again, this is the front side, so we're going to keep this on the front. And all you have to do is just squeeze this in. There you go. Now it's all snapped in place. Once your car stays in the sun, this will be all nice and smooth. But I think overall it came out really nice. Looks good so far. All right, off to the next one. And the similar process on the next headrest. And then we're going to do the center one. Okay, both these are done. So exact same procedure for both of them. The center one is a little bit different, just a little bit different. The only thing you have to do is, of course, release them. One other trick is if you do one side, you can, just keep going and it'll just undo everything. So once you have this removed, then everything else just pretty much falls out, just like that. Okay, so the first thing we're going to start is with the rear seat. So this is the seat that I removed from the car. This is the tool that I'm going to be using. I'm going to leave a link in the description below. So once you flip it, you're going to see all these tabs, and we're going to go ahead and remove all those. And for that, you can just use a cutter, something like this. Okay, all the pins have been removed. So once you remove the pins, over here, there are also pins over here. So that's where you have to be careful to make sure as you're removing, you're cutting the pins from inside. And we're gonna have to staple the new ones just like they are installed right now. You have no access from the back side, so this needs to be done right from here. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut the pins. All you have to do is just make some room. Okay, so the old cover is off, and as you can see, all these points were stapled. So here you can see, this is the back seat, and here's my son. The good thing is, see, all this is magnetic, so you can take a magnet and clean up, and you can see how much came out from these rings right here. So this one is ready for the new cover. Okay, so now what we have to do is you're gonna lay it down upside down, and we're gonna remove all these metal braces because we're gonna transfer them from the old one to the new one. So they have pre-made slots, and we can just easily take it out and move it over. Now, one thing I'm gonna tell you, looking at the quality of this, the new one is so much thicker. Like this whole texture is so much better than the Gen 1 one that came with the car. So I'm very amazed with the quality of the product. You can see, you know, it's perforated and it's much more thicker. On this one you have holes, you know, for leather breathing, and this one, even though it's perforated, or at least it claims to be, I can't even see the light through because this is all not even perforated on the backside, so kind of defeats the purpose. But you know, this one is much more breathable, and you can see the light through the holes, which is great because that kind of helps the leather to stay fresh and breathe. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and remove all these braces. You know, they'll just slide off, and then you can move it over into the new one. Just make sure you lay it out exactly the way it is, right next to each other, and then transfer it. Okay, everything has been transferred. So in the old one, you'll see the cut. In the new one, you might not see the cut, but you can just cut a triangle and you'll have it. So I did that on all of them, and it was a very simple transfer. It already comes with these tabs right there, the same as plastic as this one. So they'll clip on, and it's ready to be mounted on this one. Okay, so we're gonna start from this side first, and I'm not going to show you the entire thing because the process is the same, so I don't want to bore you guys. But basically, there are metal beams over here, and the idea is to basically staple it to those beams. And you'll see the exposed metal because you removed the older one. So over here, we're going to have 2. Over here, we're going to have 4 staples. Nothing on the back side. Over here, we're going to have 4 staples. So basically, you just have to lay your leather out and have that metallic beam, align it, and all you have to do is just take the staple gun, this right there, and staple it. And I just have to align this with this. So this is right here. I should have done that before, but not a big deal. You can still move it up. So from here, you can see how this thing is sitting in and tucked in, and that's what makes it, the leather stretch and fit perfectly. So I already aligned this. All I had to do was just pull this way, and it worked. And now we're gonna do this side. Again, I forgot to make the holes. So another thing I'm just gonna tell you, when you're moving this metal bar from the old one, just match, you know, where you have the openings, and just take a scissor and just cut a hole, a triangle V, so the metal bar is exposed. It's just gonna make it easier for you to hook the top part from here to the bottom, and it'll make your life easier. Okay, so for that one, I had to come in from this side and staple it, and same thing over here. I expose the metal. Again, I'm gonna hook top part to the top, bottom part to the bottom, and once it's hooked and I cannot move either one of them, then I'm gonna crimp it. Okay, let's do it. So here's the metal bar. I can feel it, so I'm gonna hook it up on top. You can see it's hooked up on top, and now I'm gonna grab the bottom one and hook it to the bottom of the crimp. There you go. Now it's hooked up. So now I cannot move the top part, I cannot move the bottom part, and all I have to do is just crimp it. And there we go. So this worked. You can see it's holding on. And now this bar, so this thing has 1, 2, 3, and 4. There you go. You can see all this side is done, this side is done. And it's coming out great. Okay, this is all complete, and you can see it came out really nice. Again, the wrinkles will go away when it is setting in the sun in the hot car. All that will be ironed out. Here you can see on the back how I did my staples. Everything fit in perfect. It was very well made. One minor thing, this thing on the original one was stretched all the way over here, but there's also a rod under right here, so I was able to just cut the foam and staple it to that rod, since this side leather was not too long. So the good thing about this L seat is everything over here is all leather. In the original one, it's kind of like a fabric, so this is much more sturdier and whole one piece. So that's why I just stapled it right there, and it works perfectly fine. So you might have a foam there, but just if you cut the foam, there's a metal rod inside, and then you can staple it to that rod, so you don't have to stretch it all the way here because it's not needed. But came out great. So now we're going to be doing the back side, and this is basically removed from the car, and this is the back handrest. So I'm going to go ahead and remove the handrest from here completely so we can go ahead and do the installation of this. And once you remove it, this whole piece will come out, and then we'll go ahead and do the installation. Okay, removing this handrest from the back seat is very simple. There were only 2 screws that I showed you earlier. You just have to remove them, and this whole box along with this comes off. And once it comes off, basically this thing is attached to it just by these 2 screws on these 2 places, and all you have to do is just remove these 2 screws, these ones, and this will come off. Now once this has come off, you need to remove this. So this is very simple. A lot of people get confused, but see how easy it comes off. But basically you can see those 2 center holes. You just have to find those 2 screws. These are like little tiny screws, and once you undo them, it just literally slides off. So don't try to wiggle with this. This is very simple. It's just in the center, and there's a microfiber, some kind of rod that you may have to tear in the center. So now it's very easy. All you have to do is just unzip it and roll this off and put the new one on. So here you can see the L seat covers are so high quality. It comes with everything, the zipper and everything. So of course the opening will come over here, so we're going to slide it like this. Okay, this is all done. It came out really nice. So for the back one, again, you have to remove all the pins from all around. So just remove it just like you did on the other one. And then we're going to transfer these long pins to the new cover. And then just reverse the process. So let's go ahead and remove all the pins. So on the back seat, there are these tabs that you have to remove, and these are very easy to remove. All you have to do, it comes off like this. And there's these tabs that you can compress on from the side, and they will pop out. So just grab a plier, and you can push it in. That's it. Just push it in. Okay. The seat cover is off. So now we're gonna lay it down like this, and we're gonna take our brand new one and lay it exactly in the same orientation as this one, so we can transfer these pins onto these and apply the same method as we did the previous one. As you can see, these are perforated, much more cushiony and softy as compared to the genuine that came with it. These are very thin. This is really thick. So it's going to provide some extra comfort. And even though these have holes, but these are not perforated on this side. So these holes we're going to have to make, you just have to punch it in when you're installing it. So that's not a big deal. It's minor. You just have to be big enough so we can slide this through, and the rest will fit in just fine. Okay, so the back seat is all complete, as you can see, stapled all around. Came out perfect. I'll show you guys from the back side. It was an exact replica of this one, so it fits perfectly fine. I'm very impressed how they did this whole thing, because this is perfect. Okay, so for here, we're just gonna have to punch 2 holes, and all you have to do is just feel on the back side. You know, you can feel the hole from here, and here I can feel it. So just punch a hole here, punch a hole here. The tabs are in. So one thing I just want to show you real quick. Make sure when you punch a hole, it goes in all the way like this, and you're holding it like this before you put this in, because if you don't do this, the leather is going to get stuck in this hole, and when you insert this thing, your headrest is not going to seat properly. It's not going to go further down because the leather will stop it. So make sure it's open like this before you install the tab. Okay, it is all done for the back seat, you can see. Okay, so now we're gonna do the front seat. I already have it removed out, and these are the covers. So let's see how we're gonna do this one. Highly recommend you disconnect the battery when you remove these, because these do have airbags, so you don't want to deploy them. But got them out at the bottom. You know, these clips, we're gonna go ahead and remove those. These are just slide on, and then we're going to start removing it. There are screws over there, and then we're going to remove all this plastic panel and get the seat out. Of course, you have to remove this piece for you to get access to that entire seat cover and remove it. So let's go ahead and remove all that. Okay, so I removed the back cover. So this has the back seat heater that we're gonna have to remove and transfer over to the new seat cover. We're gonna remove this and put this on, but a couple of things, you know, it's just held by these things, hooks pretty much, but there is a connector that you have to undo. That connector is connected right there at the bottom, and then you have these metal plates. These metal plates gonna go right here. There was a screw. One was coming from this side, the other one was coming from this side. And all I had to do was just remove that part. And the rest is pretty much clips. So simple to remove. These were held by the same clips right here. So I can remove all the clips from here, here, and here, which was pretty much these clips right there. So you can see on the back of my seat there's a fan, so that tells you that it should have perforated seats. The new ones do have the perforated seats, but the original one never had one. So no wonder why I never really felt the coolness coming from this side, because there was no holes. So I don't know how they do that, but anyways, I'm gonna try to transfer all this over to this, and then we'll be ready to do the installation. Okay, so this is the heater basically, and to remove this, all you have to do is just these are held by these plastic pieces, and all you can do is just take a scissor and cut them, and it will come off. So you can now lift it and transfer it to your other one, and these also needs to be transferred, so I'm going to go ahead and remove this. The next thing is these straps. You need to cut it, and the new ones do come with the black straps, you know, so just measure the length, you know, from the bottom to this, and then install it on this one. All you have to do is just stitch it, so they'll work out perfect. You just need to make sure you're using it in the right orientation. So the front one and the back one, so make sure you use the right ones so it goes in the way it's supposed to. Next thing, you also want to make sure you replicate those holes into the leather, because this is a pure leather, so it's really hard to cut. So you want to make sure you're ready for it. And everything else isn't good to go exactly the same. Everything comes the way factory stuff comes in. Okay, so what you need to do is also remove the bottom seat, and that kind of just slides out. The only thing you have to remove is this connector right there, because that needs to be removed. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the covering for this one later on, but I'm going to install the cover for the top one. You already have the heater installed over here, and all I did was I used some glue gun, and I stick the heater on there with some glue gun. And now we're just gonna put this on, staple it just like everything else we have been doing. And then once the top one is on, then we can replace the bottom one, and that would be it. This installation is done, so that's this one. I install these tabs. Make sure you cut the leather properly and insert those. Okay, on the bottom seat, it's the cover is off. Again, very easy. Just these pins, this one and this one, and the whole cover comes off. Of course, you have to undo these. But again, the heater coil is right there, so we're gonna go ahead and remove it. Just break these plastic tabs. You can just cut it with a scissor, and this will just peel off. It's just sitting on top, and then you can transfer that onto the new one, and then basically install it back on here. So we have to staple again here, here, and here. And I just normally follow the pattern 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, and 4 over there. Okay, so now we are doing the installation of the seat. It's just a matter of putting the seat. So what I did was I did the stapling on this side, the centerpiece, and over here, so all the staples are in. And make sure you do it while it's flipped like this. Don't put it on and try to do it, because it's not going to work. So now, since all the staples are in, I'm just going to flip it and just staple some of the loose ends right there. And then we'll be ready to put those on. And just make sure you punch the holes, which I already did. Just match it to the existing leather. And once this is done, then we can just put it on and put everything together. Okay, all this is assembled. Everything is back to normal. And the only thing that I found that was not perfect was this small tab. For some reason, I cannot hook it up. I think they put the wrong one in there. So if you're ordering yours, just show them this video so they can see this is the passenger side seat, and on the right hand side where the controls are, this piece, this needs to be a hook that will hook onto this metal brace right there. So if it had like one of those, this leather needs to be a little bit short and need to have a hook that will hook into that thing in place. So just tell them that this piece is kind of short, needs to be short, and with another plastic, and they'll fix that. They're very helpful. Other than that, everything is good to go. I'm just gonna plug this in right here. And at the bottom, let me show you guys the heat wiring. All I did was just bring it from here and just ran it right there. This is the one. Just clip it on to the ports that you opened before, but everything is plug and play, and you pretty much put it back the way you remove it. And the seat is ready to be installed. You can see, came out pretty nice and snug. No loose leather or anything like that. So pretty impressed with the quality that the L seats did with this leather. I'm just gonna have to put the plastic piece back on and we can go ahead and install the seat back. Okay, here you can see everything is complete. Came out really nice and snug fit. And again, very nice high quality leather. So the passenger side is all done. Now we're gonna jump to the driver's side. This is the back side. That is also all done. So here's the driver's side, and we're gonna do the exact same procedure. First thing we're gonna do is get this plastic removed, get all this removed. These are just pop outs. All you have to do is just pop them out. You can use a pry tool and just insert it back there, pop it out, just literally slides out. Do the exact same thing with this. And then there are screws, and we're gonna remove those screws. There are two at the bottom over here, one over here, and I think one there's on the back side. So get all that removed and remove this entire cover. I think there's two right here too. You also have to remove these two and one over here. Also keep track of your screws. The ones that you remove from here are these tiny ones. And again, it depends on what kind of car you have, but on this particular one, these are these, and then those might be a little bit different over here. The ones from here are like this. Now when you flip the seat, you'll see a screw over here, and you will also see one over here and one over here. So we're going to go ahead and remove those. So you can see the front screw is a little bit longer than the ones that I removed from the back. After removing the screws, there's a connector in the back, so you have to remove that connector, and then this whole plastic piece will come off. There are also these two clips that needs to be removed, and another connector for this guy right there. And then this whole piece just comes off. Put this on the side. And now we have to remove this one. And of course, you have to remove the electric connection, which is just by a clip. But there's one screw right there and two screws. So we're gonna go ahead and remove those. Once you remove the three screws, this whole thing comes off. You can see the two connectors are also out. Now using a prying tool like this, you can go ahead and remove this connector, which I already did. And this holds one part of the leather. Now this piece is held by these two elastic bands. So one goes over here and the other one is right over here. Okay, it's out. So that kind of opens up. There are two screws that kind of holds this back piece in place. You can have access to it right from here. So I'm gonna go ahead and unscrew those as well, and I will remove this big piece. Once those two screws are off, just pop it up and slide it down and it will come off. Now to remove the rest of this part is just held over here. So what you have to do is just yank it out. And here you can see there's this one stretch that comes over here, and for the bottom seat goes over here. So we're gonna remove this guy. Again, it's very easy. Highly recommend you guys wear gloves because this edge is very sharp. So there you go. So this is for the top part, and this is very important for you guys to know where it goes. Also keep an eye for you know where these holes are. These two are mainly for the tabs over here, so you have to match these holes with your new leather as well. Now there's another strip right here. Remove. And some of it might be hard to remove, so you can use plier or something to yank it out. But As you can see, I'm just doing it by one hand and I was able to get those out. Same thing over here. You just have to open it, pry it out, pry it out, pry it out. And that would be it for the top part. Also, we have to undo this screw because this is also holding this metal bracket, which is kind of holding this whole thing in one place. And then we're going to move on to the bottom one. Okay, here you can see all the tabs are off. Also, this is off. Okay, for the bottom seat and the top seat, this is the heater element, and both seats are connected via this cable. So we're gonna disconnect that cable, single cable, right from here, so it comes off. And now we also have to remove this cable, which comes in and connects to this black module on the side. I already have it removed. It's just a clip, you know, it just comes off like this. And we have to open these tabs and get this wire out, because we have to, once we remove this cover, it's going to have to come out so we can move it over to the next seat cover. So here you can see, you can just open up these tabs very easily, lift up the thin one, and then that kind of pops open. And then I remove the wire out of the way. And now it's ready for the bottom one. So now we're going to remove all these hooks right from here. Okay, all this is off. Now this is just a hook for this cable, thick one, this plastic. What I normally do is once I put everything back, I kind of put a tie wrap instead of using a tape. And over here you can see they're using this yellow one for this hook, so you also have to yank this out. Just you can just open the tape. So I removed the tape and it's out. And also this thing was hooked right here with a tab, so I can remove that because this needs to be freed up. So once we're removing our cover, everything can just slide out. So now I move on to the next side of it. I remove this because to get this out of the way, it makes things a lot easier. And then once you remove this plastic piece, it's held by a screw right here. So we're gonna go ahead and remove that screw and remove this screw and get all this out of the way. So this screw is out. There you go. It has a lot of torque, so you make sure you're using a high torque, because this is not gonna just come out that easy, because this is for seat belt. So this is out, and there you go. That easy, comes off. So you must remove all that stuff to get to this tab. Just use this prying tool to get this out. Save this because you're going to need it for the new leather. And now we are ready to remove the whole thing. Now you have to flip the seat. So this is the seating area, and you have to remove this. So if you come over here, you will see this plastic tab, and all you have to do is just start lifting it up and get it all the way out. There you go. So all this is out. Now you also have to remove the side ones. All the side ones. There are 4. One on this side, so I already have it removed. All that is done. But there is also another one after this guy over here. So make sure you also yank that one out. Okay, those are off. And now everything is off on the bottom one. So now you can just literally peel this off. You can remove the seat and do whatever you want. And then we'll be ready for installing the new leather. Okay, the bottom seat came off. Now there are 2 the headrest plastic pieces. All you have to do is just tabs. All you have to do is just squeeze the tabs, and it will pop out these plastic pieces. So these were the 2 tabs that all you have to do is just squeeze it on the inside and it pops out. Now once you have this leather off, what you can do is over here there are metal clips, and all you have to do is just take a cutter and just cut them. So one from this side all the way. There are 2 I think over here and 3 or 4 over there. So we're gonna cut all the rings, and this thing will just come right off. Okay, the whole thing came off. So now we just have to transfer the heating element from this one to the next one. And for that you can use a glue gun, and these are just plastic tabs. You can cut them with a scissor, or if you want to yank them off, you can easily break them as well. I recommend using a scissor, cut all of them, put it on the new one, and just stick it using a glue gun, and this is all ready to go. You also have to remove these wires and move them over to the new leather. So there are 3, 1, 2, and 3. All these metal pieces will be moved over, and the rest comes with the kit when you buy the leather. So it's all ready to go. Now let's take a look at the bottom seat. The bottom seat have these hooks on the leather, so you have to cut these and remove the leather, and then same thing with the heating element. You have to move that heating element to the new one, and also the metal rods, and the heating element is this right there. So there are also another rod at the back side, so make sure you also cut those, and also need to staple those. So there are actually 4. 1, 2, 3, and then 4. Now the whole leather is off. And this one has a little bit longer heating element. So this one also has one over here and here. Since it's the bottom side, on the back side you only have it over here. You don't have it on the head side, which makes sense. And we're gonna go ahead and transfer all this. Again, cut it and transfer all that to the new one. Now you're gonna have a lot of metal pieces, so highly recommend use a magnet and collect all this so you don't get hurt. And then we're going to be ready to put the new leather on these old seats. Okay, here you can see I transferred the heating pad onto the new leather. Same thing over here. This is the bottom seat because it's a bit longer. This one is shorter because it's the back seat. So now you can see I just cut a hole and pass the wire through. This tab needs to be transferred from the old one. All you have to do is just pinch in those 2 tabs, and this piece comes off, and then you can plug it in. Same thing over here. All that is done, and all I did was just use this glue gun. You can see with the glue gun it sticks pretty good, doesn't go anywhere. All right, so now the seat, another enhancement I did on the seat was I put an extra foam layer, and I put holes so I can get air. You just have to match the holes inside so you can get cool air. All right, so now I'm all ready to go. The very first thing we're gonna do is connect this metal piece, this part, and at the end, you also have to connect it to these smaller ones. So we're gonna staple the rings. I'm using this tool, so we're gonna use that to staple it. Okay, the leather is on the seat, and all these wrinkles will go away with it being in the heat. So what I did was I stapled this area, stapled this side on the back, and it's ready to be installed. I also stapled this side and that side. Just this strap right there, so it kind of holds it in place. And now we're ready for the backrest. The first thing you have to do is flip it inside out, and once it's flipped out, that's when you can start with the stapling. Make sure you take out the metallic bars from the old one and install into the new one, and then we're going to staple the wires. Again, let me show you. 2 on this side, 4 on this side, and in fact it's 3 on this side and 3 on that side. And then you can just flip the entire cover and do the other clips, clip on and everything, and then that's it for the top one. So the very first thing you need to do is just lay it out like this, and put this strap around, and just screw it. So this will hold it in place, and now you can flip it down like this, and now you can start with doing the crimps, these pins. So now everything is going to stay in place. It's not going to fall off, as you can see, and we can work through it. Okay, here you can see the top side is also installed. Came out nice and perfect. Now we just have to make holes over here. You just have to make sure you cut it the square the same shape, because otherwise it's not going to fit in. So we're going to make that. I still have to just connect this guy. It just clips on over here, just like that, and this clips on like that. This side is all connected. All that is done. You just have to pull this and hook it up over here. The heater connector is all connected and ready to go. You can see I attached it over here. I just need to either tape it or tie wrap it right there. But now this back seat is ready. Now we just have to install the back cover and that bottom piece, and that would be it for the seat. The best way is to flip the seat to put this cover. There are 2 hooks, so you hook it in there, and then but you have to make sure before you put this, you have to put this carpet piece, and then you install this. And then there are 2 screws that you just screw on. You may have to cut the leather and make room for those screws. Not a whole lot, don't cut too much, just a little bit to make hole. And that's it. And then you can just hook this up right there. It just stretches up and hook over there, and that's it. Okay, the driver's seat is all ready to go. Install these, and everything is intact. I did add some cushion on this side because I did want some support over there, so that's why you see it a little bit bulky. But if you just leave it original, it's going to be more flat like this. I did not add anything over here, just over here. So, and all this is ready to go. Do not install the plastic once the seat is out, because you do want to, bolt the seat belt right there and all that stuff. So it's better to do that in the car. So we're ready to do the installation of the seat. All right, so now we're going to install the leather on the handrest, and as you can see, I already removed it. I'm not going to show the video how to remove it. It's kind of pretty self-explanatory, but you do have to remove a bunch of screws to get everything from the bottom. So just start undoing the screws. There are some hidden screws like these, that you have to get to. So this is just a layout, just so you have an idea of, where the screws are. And once you remove everything, then you're going to be exposing the leather that is connected to this plastic piece. So that is the most important part. And here's the new leather. You can see, again, genuine leather, high stitching, and very well made. They cut it with precision and give you some extra, so once you're done, you can lay it down, and looks just like genuine. And you do have to make this cut, so that's a good thing that they don't make the cut, just in case, if you're off for some reason, you can always make that cut. So you're going to use this tool to remove all the staples. As you can see, I'm already starting to remove all the staples right from here. And I'm gonna go ahead and remove all those. Okay, all the pins have been removed. So now it's just a matter of us removing the leather. Okay, so then you want to put this leather inside the genuine one, and then you want to mark the opening. Don't cut it. Now, if you notice, if you just mark it like this, it's going to give you a much bigger inside, but that's not what you want. So I just did that just to show you guys. See the differences? So what you need to do is close this gap right there, and you see that smaller opening? That's what you need to cut. But we're not going to do that right now. I'm just showing you guys, so just you have a reference point. So you don't want to cut anything more than this much, otherwise you're going to be in trouble. So, and all that stuff you don't need to cut, because you do need all the rest of the stuff in there. So you're going to cut it through, but you're going to leave all that excess available for you to be pulling it in and stapling it all around. So just keep that in mind. So here, as you can see, I cut a piece of this filter material, and it just gets a nice cushion. I put this over here, and I also cut just a small piece, not too big, just right in the center. And you'll see the center on the back side, so just cut it straight. And now you can start the installation. Next thing you want to do is you want to stretch the leather from the sides, and you want to staple the sides like this. Just make sure the line is going straight with the curve. So I tried a few staplers, but seems like the pneumatic one is going to work better. This is something I picked up from Lowe's. I'm going to leave the link in the description below. But this thing works great. And as you can see, I tried different ones, but this one seems to fit in perfect, flat. So none of the other one worked, so I'm gonna use this one to staple all around, and I'm gonna take out the old ones once I'm done stapling. Okay, so while I was installing this onto here, this thing broke. This whole piece literally broke, and this part was also broken prior. So what I ended up doing was using some JB Weld plastic bond. I'm going to leave a link in the description below. This stuff is great. I joined all the broken parts. Now it's pretty normal for an old car to start breaking because of the heat and all that stuff. You know, the plastic gets brittle. So, you know, if yours break, don't panic. Just get one of this, and you can stick it in. And this stuff is really, really hard. I mean, it's not going to go anywhere. You know, you can see I can literally pick it up from here, the whole part, and it's not going to go anywhere. So, and it does take about 12 to 24 hours to fully cure if you're using this stuff. So anyways, I joined all these parts, as you can see, and now we're going to go ahead and install it on here, and then we should be done. Now we're going to start the assembly process. So over here you can see I cut the leather, and just kind of, you know, just leave those two spaces open, because this is where we're going to screw this part. There are two screws right there, and those are the small ones. And there are two tabs that needs to go inside here, so just push it in. It's going to be like this. Now we're going to take this part and just fit it in. this is it. It's all ready to be mounted. You can see the fitment came out great. The padding really helped a lot. If you see any wrinkles or signs, you know, they'll all go away with it being in the sun. So now we're ready to install it. Okay, installation is complete. It's all ready to go.